Hello my friends, new video today. This time we're going to be having a look into the Unilever stock, and I'm going to decide whether I would like to invest in it or not. So first of all, this is their webpage. I highly suggest you to have a look into the investor relations. Unlike most of the other companies, this is actually quite easy to see through. You can find most of the things you're looking for quite easily, and it's pretty simple to navigate through all the different pages from here. So today we're not going to be looking into the investor relations. We are first having a look at the Unilever stock ticker, and of course we're going to have a look into how it's going to be developing in the future and how it developed in the past. So why do I personally think that Unilever stock could be a valid option for my personal portfolio? Well, first of all, for that we have to differentiate. I'm not going to buy it for my growth portfolio. I'm going to buy it for my cash flow dividend portfolio, meaning I'm trying to build a portfolio with lots of different dividend stocks where I'm going to try making pretty much a portfolio that's going to satisfy me through dividends, keep me motivated and in shape when it comes to stocks, because I feel it's very motivating to receive steady dividends, steady payouts from your stocks that you get to your bank account and then can pretty much use at your own will. First of all, obviously, dividend is pretty much subtracted from the share price, meaning it's very much just for psychological reasons. However, I personally simply think that it's going to be keeping me much more drawn to stocks in the long run, and I pretty much viewed myself getting quite uninterested in certain stocks after a while. Like, I think we all have had it at some point that we bought a nice growth stock which performed very well. Maybe you bought Amazon, Apple, Facebook or whatever, and it maybe went up quite a bit, and then you got into like a slight recession, or you had the down phase, and then pretty much 90% of your gains were lost again, or you even were in the losses in total. It doesn't really matter. However, all those things may not keep you motivated in the long run. So I would like to do this little experiment by building my own dividend stock portfolio, and my first position is going to be Unilever. So I'm going to show you why. First of all, the thing that I like very much with Unilever stock is that if you zoom out a bit, just by having at the 1 year stock progression, you can see, okay, it's developed fairly well. If you have a look at the 3-year stock development, then you can see, okay, it's not looking that great. It must have had a slight down phase 2022. And it's only been up recently. However, I do feel that it's gone up quite healthily, and it can definitely prove its point. If you zoom out a bit, you can see a very nice trend with the stock, and that's pretty much been going up all the way, right? Like from January 1985 up to now, which is May 2023. You can see it going up and up and up. Of course, there were down phases that sometimes took a couple of years, but it always recovered up to a certain extent, and then it went further up again. And it really hasn't been going up super high. Like, it's not 1000x that you've made with the stock over the years. However, you do receive a pretty nice dividend. And other than that, you can see the stock gaining value instead of losing it. What are my reasons for buying Unilever now? Why not some other dividend stock? Well, first of all, this is just the first position in the dividends portfolio. And next, an important thing to keep in mind is that when there's a huge inflation and people can't afford all that much anymore, it's usually that People cut down on the luxury stuff. Maybe you won't get the fancy car that you wanted. Maybe you wait a little. Maybe you get the weaker PC instead of the stronger one. But in terms of foods, usually you don't cut back all that much. You still want to buy your snacks. You still want to buy your chocolate, you still want to buy your meal. And Unilever, I feel personally, just has a very steady ground and can definitely hold their position in the market. Next, of course, Unilever itself has great financials. You can see it growing over the years. Very nice development, not just in terms of growth, but also steadiness. Obviously, which I very much like in a dividend stock, and that I personally feel it's just a very mature addition to my portfolio. You can just have a look into all the different stats. I'm going to pause in here for a bit, and then we can just continue. Net income looking quite well as well. And then next thing we're going to do is have a look into the investors page. If you want to look at the recent dividends, then you can just take a quick look at the shareholder center. Scroll down and you'll see first of all the buyback program and next the dividend history. And here you can see what kind of dividend was paid out recently. And of course the merge as well, right? Like formerly all dividends were paid in pound. And as you can see from 2009 to, wait, what was it again? 17 cents. So to double the income from the dividends, it basically only took 9 years. Which is fairly well, like it's well above, or slightly above inflation actually, and I find that to be quite realistic, a pretty good fashion. Recent years haven't been so well in terms of dividend progression. However, I personally think the next years are going to be a lot better than the past, and it's going to somehow profit from the inflation. Like obviously they are not going to profit directly, since if you just adjust it for the inflation, it's just not going to make too much of a difference. However, I do feel Unilever is a good stock to combat the inflation in the long run and to give your portfolio a bit of steadiness. So that's why I picked it for this showcase. I very much think it's at a pretty decent price right now where I'm going to build my first position. And if you guys are interested, I'm going to keep you guys updated on my dividend portfolio. And of course, I'm going to keep you posted on the other stocks as well. That's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.